Dealing with people you can't stand. No, really, there's a book about it. And there's levels to it. You have the tank, the sniper, the grenade, the know-it-all, the think they know it all, the yes person, the maybe person, the nothing person, the no person, and the winner. Let's face it, you're going to run into people that you don't like, that you can't stand. But you know what? You have to find a way to deal with it. And I'm going to help you out. I'm going to share some really valuable information that you can put into your communication toolkit to help you deal with people that are not, maybe not your cup of tea.
Hi friends, Dree with CVV Entertainment, and I am going to be reading an excerpt from the book, Dealing with People You Can't Stand. Now listen, I've placed a link to this book in this description so you can go and purchase this book. The link will take you to the most recent version. So let's dive right in. In your repertoire of communication skills, there exists varying degrees of knowledge and ignorance with their consequent interpersonal strengths and weaknesses. As a result, you may have no trouble at all dealing with that overly or non-emotional person who no one else can stand. You may have more difficulty with people who whine and are negative, or you may find dealing with aggressive people to be the most challenging. Passive people may frustrate you, or you may have a low tolerance for braggarts and blowhards. Likewise, you probably frustrate several people yourself, because everybody is somebody's difficult person at least some of the time. You may agree or disagree with this or that person about who's the difficult person and who is not. Nevertheless, there is a certain consensus in polite society about who difficult people are and what it is they do that others find difficult. We've identified 10 specific behavior patterns that sane people resort to when they feel threatened or thwarted that represent their struggle with or withdrawal from undesired circumstances. Here are 10 difficult behaviors that represent normal people at their worst. The tank. It was a beautiful day. The sky was clear, and Jim could hear birds singing outside his window. He was moving forward on the project, and the office was humming with activity and teamwork. Suddenly, there was a familiar and inescapable sound. It reminded Jim of the sound of tank treads rumbling down the hallway. It seemed as though the ground actually began to tremble, and Jim could almost hear the distant ping of radar being activated. As Jim listened, Joe, the tank Bittner, rounded the corner and came into view. Raising his arm like a turret-mounted cannon, he pointed in Jim's direction. Somehow, Jim could sense the crosshairs locking on to a target: himself. In desperation, he mentally waved a white flag. But the tank continued moving in his direction. As he stared in shock at the cannon-like finger now pointed at his face, Bittner unleashed a verbal blasting of accusation and scorn. "You're an idiot, a moron. You're completely incompetent and an embarrassment to the human race. You must be a genetic mistake. You've been working on this for 2 weeks, and you're already 3 weeks behind. I won't listen to any more of your excuses. Pay attention, because this is what you are going to do." Out of the corner of his eye, Jim could see that everyone else in the office had either run for cover or stood frozen, paralyzed with fear. Like the sound of distant thunder, Bittner barked out his orders. Then, as suddenly as it began, the determined assault ended. Bittner was moving off in a new direction, and Jim was left sitting amid the rubble of his best efforts and good intentions. The tank is confrontational, pointed, and angry, the ultimate in pushy and aggressive behavior. I hope you learned something from this excerpt. Please follow, subscribe, share, like. Also, don't forget, there's a link to this book in the description. Go ahead and purchase this book. You will purchase the newest version. I will be sharing more content of this book in the future, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Bye.